If you want to make $50,000 in the next month, this is the only video you need to see. If you are somebody out here that is struggling, trying to get at least their first deal or second deal, or at least trying to even just close some deals, right? This is the video for you. I have so many wholesalers that they all are like, Zach, I need to succeed. I need to get deals. I need to just understand my marketing, understand my market, buyers, all these things. And the thing about it is, you were like probably 2 or 3 things away from really starting to make a ton of money in this business. And what I really think is the most important part about making a ton of money in wholesaling is mastering the marketing and then master the market. And then once you have a deal, you're able to dispo them really dang quick and really dang easy. And so what we're going to do breakdown today is exactly how to make $50,000 a month wholesaling real estate with any type of operations, any type of business. And so we're ready to go. We are live. We are pumped up.
Let's go.
And we're going to break it all down. And so let's kind of bring it from the top. I want to understand exactly who's here today and what's going on. So if you are watching this live, you have to holler at us. You got to let us know, where in the world are you? And you got to remember, because you're watching this live, right? This is the ultimate networking. Guys, when he got started, in 1749, wholesaling real estate, no internet back then, apparently. I don't know. But basically, back in the day, there was no way on the internet you can get connected with thousands of other wholesalers.
Yep.
Right there. And here's the cool part. If you're watching this live, you are somebody, or you're watching like the video, right? You are somebody that is trying to make a change in your life. And you're probably watching this and you're not with other people actively doing that in your circle, in your vicinity, right? You're probably not talking to people every single day that says, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to get in this wholesaling thing. I want to actually start having success. But guess what? Everybody in this live stream's like that. Come on, right? Like, I would have died to get started wholesaling, just be with so many other people looking to make better of their lives.
Yeah.
And the cool part is you all grow together. There's so many factions in freewholesaling.com of people that started like 4 years ago in our live streams. And now they all hang out. They're like all broke, but now they're all rich and successful wholesaling. It's really, really awesome. And so we got Ohio, Dallas, San Antonio, where we got here, some awesome places. Florida, a lot of Dallas, Illinois, upstate New York, Nigeria. What is up?
Wow, that's awesome.
Guys, we have a lot of people in Nigeria. Not a lot of people know about this, but Nigeria, it has, I think, 200 plus million people, and most of them speak English. It's insane. And they have, if you look at their IQ in Nigeria, if you look at, they don't take IQs in like the whole country. But what they do is they find the smartest people of immigrants anywhere in the United States, of college students.
Yeah.
So the smartest people applying for the SAT, if you look at sons and daughters of immigrants, Nigeria. So if your parents immigrated from Nigeria and you're that child, you have the highest ability to have the highest SAT score. Wow. So that means you're probably really smart in Nigeria and y'all speak English. And so, guys, Nigeria, South Africa, they're like the most upcoming country for wholesaling. And so
India, Colorado,
excited. India, Colorado, pretty dang exciting here. And so
Fort
we're
Lauderdale,
wholesaling all over the world and we're ready to go. And so let's break this all down and show you exactly how you can start making a ton of money wholesaling real estate. And so all you have to do is, number one, believe in yourself. And so let's kind of talk about how much money is 50 grand a month. And so, we hit the books, we did some calculations, and we came out with this theorem of how much money you make in wholesaling. It comes down to the amount of wholesaling deals you do multiplied by your average assignment fee. I know that is a mind-blowing statistic. That is a mind-blowing thing to say. But the amount of money you are going to be making in wholesaling real estate, it is just one simple thing. It's the amount of deals you do and your average assignment fee. And so I think when we make these videos and we talk about wholesaling, right, the number one thing people like flip out over, that they only honestly care about this, is how many deals per month are you doing? Like, that is the number one, like, most important thing for most people. And it's not the amount, and I never do this, right? When I do interviews and I talk to other wholesalers and, like, we have a big podcast dropping on Monday. It's pretty exciting. We had We had somebody, I'm not going to name who they are. If you look at my TikTok, you'd know. They are 25 years old, same age as me, making $175,000 a month wholesaling only vacant land.
Vacant land.
Crazy. And, obviously my, I don't know about this meter always pops up. And then, you call, you look through the stats, you look through the facts, and you're like, oh, this person's actually doing it, right? And not once am I asking how many deals. I'm asking the average assignment. I'm asking what is the actual monthly income, because it's what you net at the end of the day is the most important part.
Yeah, it's I find the number of deals the most misleading. And who cares? If you make 100 grand on one deal, God bless you. But the reality is,
we've done that a lot.
I've watched people the number of deals, it has a place. I'm not completely misled. It's a great KPI number, but I've seen people tell me they do 25 deals and they only make like 2 or 3 grand a deal. That sounds like pure misery to me. That's not wholesaling. Now, I'm not knocking it. It's just not my forte. So, and then the other one is like people go, oh yeah, I did $4 million in assignment fees. I don't care. How much did you bring home? And that's what you really want to concentrate on. So the number of deals and the gross amount they did, they're some of the most misleading stats. It really is. See, because if I spent $4.5 million to make that 5 million, it's a horrible return on your money. And so listen, I'm all about like old school guerrilla marketing, wholesaling, because if you can make 200-300 grand on like a shoestring budget, that's like gangster stuff to me. And once you figure that, then you can scale and do whatever you want. You see, people have this notion you got to spend a fortune on marketing. They don't understand wholesaling, and they will never, ever survive. I watch more people come into my local market spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. They all have one thing in common. They leave because you can't scale it on advertising alone. Remember, he or she that controls their marketing will dominate in wholesaling. If you want to outsource it, like everybody else do it for you, it's the fastest path to get out. So guys, look deeper in the numbers, man. I give more credit to the hustler. And those of you working on your first deal, your second or your third deal, they're the most important ones in your life. So
there you go.
So-and-so did 15 deals a month. Who? Not you. And how do you know they actually did it? Most people I find, they count the number of deals they do by the amount of contracts they either submit or write. And we got, guys, you know the stick rate. A lot of people flake out. It's just part of the business. So remember, focus on you and your effort and your actionable steps. The simple KPIs. How many people did you contact? How many appointments? How many lists you pull? How many government lists you have? And just keep to it, man. You're going to have to work in the beginning. There's no exceptions. I remember I used to look and go, oh my God, she did 12 deals. He did 15, 12. What am I doing wrong? I wasn't doing anything wrong. All those people quit. And I was really proud of doing 3 to 5 deals a month when I got around the corner after my first year. So stop comparing it, because most of it, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. So compare yourself to what you did the previous day and push it. Actionable steps.
Comparison is the thief of joy. It's absolutely true. But like, think about that statistic. Like, what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to push the amount of deals you're going to do. I'm not trying to get you the most assignment. I kind of do, but like to a point that there's a push and pull to that, right? Like, you're not going to make 90 grand on a pre-foreclosure. I'm just being honest with you, right? Most likely you're not.
No.
But what we're trying to do is maximize the amount of deals you do and maximize the average assignment fee so you make the most monthly income. That's honestly what it is. Don't be telling me how many doors do you own. What's your net worth, right? But like, hey, we won't get into that. So let's talk about this. Okay. So
that came out like 2008, 2009. Nobody talked about doors till then.
It sounds like a band, Jim Morrison band, but whatever. Okay. So, but basically, in wholesale, I'm
a little slow.
But basically, what I'm talking about is, let's kind of break down a fundamental fact of wholesaling real estate. You must master the seller, wholesaler, buyer relationship. So really, let's think about this for a second, okay? If we are getting started in wholesaling, these are the three main parts. Okay. A wholesaling real estate company is broken down into these three parts. It's the relationship between all three. How are you able, as the wholesaler in the middle, able to handle the seller and the buyer? So, for example, how are you going to be able to bring sellers in the door to you, right? You see the seller is pointing towards wholesaler. And how are you going to be able to feed steady deals to the buyers? This is how we got to think about a wholesaling operation. So we got to think about how to constantly get the revolving door going in, where we're always getting deals in, we're always selling them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want contracts just staying there or getting out, right? But we want to go take in deals, and then we go sell them to cash buyers. Now, the thing about it is the seller wholesaler relationship is dedicated based off of one thing. Okay. It is actually two things: speed and convenience, right? How convenient is this cash sale?
Mm-hmm.
And how fast are you able to get somebody that solution? Now, the wholesaler buyer relationship, I hate to be so brash, but it's one thing: money. I don't know, you're 23, 24 years into wholesaling. Mine, not almost 9 years now. I've known cash buyers to honestly care about one thing, and they are like very they're very much the opposite of, you know, how you kind of approach things, right? Like, you care about money, but like you're more of a empath, care about the situation.
Yeah.
I'm more just like to the point, as you know. But like, I'm just like, is it gonna make me money or is it gonna not, right? And so a buyer will literally only care about the deal if it makes you money or not. Honestly, a buyer could care less if you're rude. If you got a good deal, that's all they care about, right?
To a point.
To a point, but
yeah,
like most of it's going to be that.
They just want to get to the deal. Most of them don't want a personal relationship with you, but you know, the core principle of wholesaling is they got to have an incentive to buy it. They're not just going to buy it to solve your problem. All transactions eventually should benefit both sides, and if it doesn't, you're going to learn a lesson. And It's no different in wholesaling.
Yeah, so it's very transactional with the wholesaler buyer, but you got to remember that the seller wholesaler relationship is extremely emotional. It is not about the money, and you're not. If you make it about the money, so if the seller makes it about the money,
Mm-hmm.
they go with a realtor. They do not go with the realtor. Obviously, they're going through the speed and convenience. And so understanding that relationship. And then also another part of the relationship, which we really got to master here, is the buyer-seller relationship. How do they know each other in this situation, right? And the buyer and seller will meet, right? If you're doing a walkthrough,
Mm-hmm.
you just got to know how to master that to a point. And really, it's kind of the understanding and the collection of all three that's really going to help us start making a ton of money. And so what I like to do is, if we're looking to make $50,000 every single month, I want to do a 1, 2, 3 approach. 1, 2, 3. Simple, guys. You know, they think there's something in this world called the rule of threes. And I think a lot of people really love it because of a lot of people are religious. So it's like the Trinity, right? They 1, 2, 3, like the law of three, right? It's a very powerful tool in sales, marketing, all. And they think all good things come in threes, right? Is that what they say?
The hat trick says it.
The hat trick, right? And what I like to think of is just most human beings can only focus on three things at a time. And it's kind of funny. If you really look into the rules of three, it's like seller, wholesaler, buyer. And then you really get into threes of everything. It's actually insane.
I struggle with that. So,
but it's like the perfect like approach to things. And so if you want to start making 50 grand a month, we start doing the 1, 2, 3 approach. And what this approach is we have 3 goals to get to $50,000. That's the best way I can really just describe this, right? And so 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so goal number 1, we're going to focus on 1. Then after we hit 1, we're going to go to level 2, and then we're going to go level 3. So let's focus on level 1. Goal 1 is going to be getting 1 deal a month. I know that's stupid simple. Duh, Zach. But really think about this for a second. Getting 1 deal a month is so easy. But here's the problem. It's very complicated for the average wholesaler to get 1 deal a month, as we can look at statistics.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I've always found is because you are just trying to do too many things. You're trying to call, text, and do all these crazy things. And what I found the average wholesaler does is they try to call, text, email blast, reverse drive. They try 17 different things. They go crazy hard for 2 weeks. And then what they do is they go say, I've been wholesaling and I got one deal yet. And, I'm not going to call out Michael here. I think I am calling out Michael, but not in a bad way. And you spit, you throw up and you say, I haven't got a deal yet. I tried everything. And then you get frustrated. And then the worst part happens is you stop believing. It's like Santa Claus in the movie Elf. If you don't believe in him, he's not going to be real anymore. And when you don't believe anymore because you've done 2.5 weeks and you haven't gotten, I haven't made 40 grand in 2.5 weeks. This sucks. It's like, where else are you going to make 40 grand in 2.5 weeks, bro? Like where? Where? Tell me. That's legal. You ain't going to find it. Okay.
Yeah.
But your belief starts to kind of waver. And when your belief wavers, like you're not going to be all in. You're not going to be consistent. Right. And that's the biggest issue I see. Right.
Yeah. You got listen, everybody starts out wholesaling with a solid belief, but here's the problem. And I teach this from the fundamentals from my own teachings, which is 23 years of just war-torn wholesaling. A lot of people I partnered with, the thousands of people that I partner up with, and then from teaching my son. And here's the thing is you have a belief. Beliefs are like opinions. Like it's perfect in theory, right? And then you go out there and as Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. That's how wholesaling is. So here's what you have to do. Everybody starts with a belief. You should have a core principle belief, spend more time with your family. Mine was about spending more time with the people I love the most. I assumed the money would come with it. I didn't start with the money because I knew it was going to be a bit of a challenge. Now, you go out there and a Mike Tyson comes up, punch you in the face. You got a choice. You can crawl down and quit or get back up. The people that survive in wholesaling, they have a belief and they surround it with what they call conviction. And conviction is like your suit of armor. You are going to be attacked left and right. Sellers, you're going to get rejected. Your family's going to jump on you. You're going to feel like just arrows coming at you left and right. And if you have conviction means no matter what, I'm going through with wholesaling, 2.5 weeks is like nothing, dude. It's like child's play. I've gone 2.5 weeks all the time without a deal. But in the beginning, it's like new. Let me ask you, Michael, when you first rode a bike, how good were you? Or did the first time you fall, did you go in and run it inside? Wholesaling is no different. So you have to have conviction, meaning I know I'm going to be attacked. So take the stoic route and expect the worst and fight for the best. And you have to have conviction. Why do you care? You know that most people are going to reject you in wholesaling, including the people you love the most. Prove them wrong and use that rejection as fuel in your tank and go out there and kick. Guys, I am no different than you. I struggled horribly my first 7 months in wholesaling. Like I after 3 months, I'm like, I don't even know this is a good fit. And that was back in 2003. And you're like, hey, man, if you couldn't do it back then, guys, there's always a challenge in wholesaling. And the thing is, you'll all start with a belief. And my suggestion is write it on your bathroom mirror and look at it when you wake up, at lunchtime, and before you go to bed, whatever it is. Do a erasable. Don't do a Sharpie. Trust me. And look at it. And like, if you really, really believe it, but I find if you don't believe it, if you go, I'm going to try wholesaling, you have zero conviction. You'll never last. This is why, in my opinion, why we have such a high failure rate in wholesaling. That and the ridiculous pitches for all these courses that are going to solve every problem in your life and find out it's empty. That's why we created a freewholesaling.com. I need you guys to get conviction. Go get it. Wrap it around you. Expect people to crap all over you and go for it. Guys, listen, when you work out, you have to have conviction. It's painful. It's not fun. And it takes a bunch of your time and it's painful. So why would you sit there and put up with it? Because you're looking for the end result. Nobody starts out in their first 30, or I'm even saying 90 days being a superstar wholesaler. You can get lucky. And I think lucky actually hurts a lot of beginner wholesalers. Grind it. I've taught so many people in this business 6-7 months, and then they just get that breakthrough and they get it. You know why? Because they took action every day. If you want a result working out or you want to lose weight, you have to take action every day. Why would wholesaling being different? Put that conviction around you. And like, so Michael, I'm going to take this as an accountability measure for you. But like, we got to stop the whining, man. Like, okay. Hey, welcome to the club. 95% of the people are in the exact same thing you are. So it's normal what you're going through. Suck it up, Buttercup. You got it.
But what I'm trying to show is like we love Michael. Keep going it right. He said he's got no plan B. He's ready to go. But the reason I looked at that comment while we're talking is because obviously we're live, but also it's like that's the first problem we have in wholesaling is we do it for this. We say, I got it. And the reason is you're probably just that belief wavers just a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh. And the thing is, you must have high belief if you're going to consistently go out here and wholesale because you actually have to show up every single day and have that drive to go do it. Right. So, and then obviously from there, once we get 1 deal a month, we go to 2 deals a month and then 3 deals a month. And trust me, it is momentum. It is just like going out here and on a rocket ship. I mean, atmosphere gets thinner and thinner. It's just, It's easier to go a mile. It's easy to go a mile in the sky when you're already a mile up in the sky. It's easy to go from mile 1 to 2, when you're
let me make this statement. Listen, most of you start out in wholesaling with the greatest enthusiasm in the world. Mm-hmm. It's not going to keep you afloat. I promise you. Wholesaling only rewards people who take tremendous action. You do not get rewarded enthusiasm. You get rewarded for commitment, which leads to discipline. That's the hardest part. Most of you just don't come from a disciplined life. I didn't. I was fortunate enough to at least show him the path, but I had to learn the hard way. And some of you are going to learn the hard way. One of the first things I tell you is stop whining. Like everyone's got a comment, right? Everyone's got a belief. Everyone's got a comment. Everyone's got an opinion. Keep it to yourself, because if you keep whining and complaining, you're just trying to make an excuse for your ego to justify why it's not working out. It is up to you and you only. We give you the tools, you run with it. I am no different than you. You are no different than Zach. The only difference is we replaced enthusiasm with commitment, which eventually turned into discipline. And it takes time. You lose weight, same thing. You want to work out, same thing. You want to eat good, same thing. You want to be a good father, same thing. You want to be a great parent, same thing.
That's how it comes out to. And so get 3 deals a month. We got to learn what to do. Obviously, right? We start scaling. We got to learn about volume and conversions. And so let's talk about kind of how both of these are working, right? So first and foremost, volume and conversions. How do you deal with conversions? Well, converting a seller is pretty easy, right? Obviously, you go through wholesaling.com. You learn actually how to talk to a motivated seller. Pretty simple to go out here and convert sellers. Now, the most important part about converting a seller is believing in yourself, right? What we say is if you don't believe in yourself, how's the seller going to believe in you when you give them an offer to the motivated seller? And that's really what the hardest part is. Obviously, the amount of time you've put in this business, the amount of time you've talked to sellers and offering, the more confident you're going to be. And that's basically what confidence is, a belief in the words you say and the actions you do. But conversion is kind of simple in my mind, right? So you got to be really good at converting sellers with lowball offers, and then you got to be really good at the volume, kind of like we said before. But let's kind of talk about the volume part first and foremost, right? Then we'll get into lowball, stuff like that. But volume is, again, a simple equation. The amount of time you're putting into this business and the amount of money you're spending. That is always going to equate your volume. Now, that basically means if you have no money and you can only put in time, you can get wholesaling deals. We've shown this every single dang day here. But you're going to be limited on the amount of volume you can put out. There's only so much cold calling you can do when you have to manually skip trace. You have to manually pull these lists by yourself. It's just a certain amount, right? So if you pull government lists and then you go to X leads and you can just skip trace 15,000 like that, obviously you're going to do a lot faster than somebody who has to manually do a Dragging for Dollars list on cyber background checks. Street Bill search still works, still completely fine, but you're just going to be a little slower, right? Versus us, like if you look at how our business runs with sheer amount of volume, right? It's basically going to be running off of pulling pretty much every single high equity and sending a bunch of direct mail because we're throwing a lot of money into it. I'll be honest with you, right? And then a large amount of cold calling and texting. I mean, ever since that case law came in, it's been very nice. How do I say that the right way? It's been very, very, very nice to have the federal law to protect me, to go out here and blast away all day, right? And, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told everyone so.
Yeah, I think we're the only ones that went out there and go, guys, hang in there. Now, all I heard was like,
I said a judge, I said,
oh, you can't cold call. You can't do it.
Cold
and
call
all
dead.
of a sudden, everyone's just, oh, now we can cold call.
I said a judge is going to talk. I said there's some case law
Go
here.
back and look.
I said
guys.
a judge is going to rule this federally, and it is going to be a cakewalk. And guess what? Some guy in Arizona got sued, and he said, you know what? He had the balls and he had the money.
It's amazing.
And he had to spend at least $100,000.
We should reward this gentleman.
Oh yeah, great guy.
It's amazing.
But the thing is, if you know the person's name in the lawsuit, I got to look it up. But like, shout out to this person, right? It gives us so much protection. It's insane.
That would be awesome.
But do you see? But here, I don't want to get on a tangent, but like, did you see how we use case law to protect ourselves in wholesaling? Because it was legally right. And so when we didn't like something, everyone said, "Oh no, cold calling's dead though. DNC,
you can't do it. Can't do it."
We said, "Okay, well,
it's terrible.
You just got to be sued about it, and then it'll go to a court, and the judge will judge based off the law." Yeah. And guess what? The judge said, "Nope, you're good." And so whenever it says something bad about the wholesaling industry, oh, the wholesaling's banned here. I'm like, okay, well, let's have somebody sue against it. Then we'll go to a judge, and they'll protect us. But so I'm literally just proving my point that if we can fight this in court, boom, you're going to win. Someone has to sue somebody for illegally wholesaling. Haven't found it yet.
Guys, if you're scared because somebody writes something that's anti-wholesaling, it's so easy to like run like the rest of the sheep and go, you can't do it. I'm so scared. Like have some guts and stand up. I don't want anyone to get sued. Yeah. But guys, like this is going to have a ripple effect. There's been so many laws passed with these states and, not without getting into politics. Just because they write it doesn't mean it's right. And the idea is you have fundamental rights. And for us to just say, okay, we're going to dismiss him because he wrote them. I'm going to go get a license. I'm going to do this. Listen, make sure you're protecting yourself. But for God's sake, somebody needs to stand up. And I give this person tremendous credit because I believe most of these wholesale legislative stuff can be completely attacked. And you got to wonder, like, they're going to think twice before they start trying to enforce some of these laws. So it's whatever it is, but I'm just saying you can either just do fear mongering and run, or we can decide to go, hey, listen, I live in this country. You're in the United States of America. We're wholesalers, man. We are a special breed of people. We're borderline on the like crazy spectrum because you have to be to do this business. And I want to kind of let you know, guys, like I don't know outside of me and Zach who made a stand for this. And for the last 2 to 3 years, everyone's telling you, don't do it. And now they suddenly switch. If you're going to switch conviction that quickly, I just got to wonder, like, where are you representing the wholesaler? Like you run to the other side. I don't understand it. I love this business. I believe anybody who attracts anybody to wholesaling is a really cool person. But man, we got to stand up and be bolder and like make a stand when we do this stuff. And guys, we got to stop fear mongering and scaring people. I can't do this. I can't do this because a politician passed it. Like, I just think it's interesting. And so we've said it the entire time. We have never wavered. In the 5 years we've been on here, we've strongly had conviction about this. And even though people go, hey, man, you need to keep your mouth shut. Me and Zach we just beat to a different drum. Like we represent the wholesaler. We don't represent any other industry. And that's how we're going to do. And I hope you guys appreciate that. And that's what we're going to keep on doing because I'm sure there's crazy other stuff that's going to come up. And I get it. It's expensive to fight anything legally. Don't get me wrong.
Here's my boy, Michael Note Bohm. He is the man of the hour.
Yeah, and he's
all hail Michael.
Yeah, so guys,
my guy.
Balls
to steal this guy.
Give it credit, man.
Shout out to Michael.
It's amazing. You got to see if we can get him on the show. That would be awesome.
I just want to give him a hug.
Yeah. So
what
guys,
a guy.
Yeah,
what a guy.
Give him a shout, and it's amazing. But like, we got to stand up. We got to stop just running from everything that. Oh my God, they're coming after us. And I just think it's so funny that people are, we have all these solutions so you don't have to cold call anymore. Come on, man.
I would have
seriously.
If I knew Michael was fighting this lawsuit, I didn't know this lawsuit was happening. I would have had like a 24-hour.
I would have given him. I would have given him a
fundraiser
big,
for
fat
legal
check.
fund.
Yeah, and so that's, guys. This is how we make change in the industry. Is we start standing up for ourselves and go, hey, listen, I'm going to question it instead of going on the internet and just going, oh, you can't do this and have all these titles. I'm like, it's crazy. Like, well, think about the fundamental thing.
Apparently, after all the wholesaling deals I've done in South Carolina, apparently I'll be in South Carolina.
You're going
I'll be in prison. So I'm hoping
We're all going to
if
jail.
if that day happens, you're in front of the jail protesting. We got thousands of people. We're gonna break me out, but I don't know. Yeah, I keep doing deals in South Carolina. I'm fine.
Yeah, and you
So-
guys, you know
with
how
with lawyers, by the way.
and you think about mainstream media, the same thing's happening in wholesaling. Everything's kind of
Okay, I wouldn't go that
one-sided.
far.
So
I wouldn't go that
no,
crazy,
it's
but-
just listen. I'm always going to stand in the wholesaler's corner.
But the reason is, guys, these laws and stuff, they're always subject to change. And I truly do believe in only one thing when it comes to laws, and that is the Constitution of the United States. And Constitution of the United States has always protected us to write and form contracts. And again, we had a big, awesome victory for the cold calling, and we're going to keep doing the victory lap.
We
So
just need the other victory for the individual states on
Well,
what you can do.
that's a little later, but yeah. So guys, what I found in wholesaling, again, 9 years in this, everything works. You just have to work. And the biggest struggle is just getting that first deal and that first deal per month, right? And it's just getting good at one certain thing and just keep doing more and more and more of that every single dang month. I think someone was asking me about, what would you do if you couldn't wholesale? Somebody asked me that yesterday. And I said, I'm literally only good at one thing. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, you got to understand, since pretty much 16 years old, I'm 25 now, right? Since the age of 16, all I've done for most of my life is wholesale. Like, I wake up wholesale, go to bed wholesale. Like, that's been most of my life. I'm not good at pretty much anything else. Okay. That's pretty much it. And don't feel bad for me. I make a lot of money. I'm good. But I just focus on one thing. I'm not trying to run all these other things. Like, I just focus on one thing. X-Leads is a whole different animal, but I got really good at the wholesaling part now. I'm pretty dang good at the other part too. But the thing about it is, you just got to focus on one thing. Most of my whole life, all I've been doing is wholesaling. And most of your life, especially in wholesaling, just focus on one list, one channel, attack. Now, I think a majority of you guys, if you're locally wholesaling, just drive for dollars, reverse drive for dollars. I don't even want to complicate it anymore. Like, just get in your car, look for ugly houses. Because the reason why drawing for dollars and putting sticky notes on houses and reverse drawing for dollars is going to work best is it eliminates all of your excuses. It really does. So number one, wholesaling saturated in my market. You can't say that because you're getting lists nobody else can get. Boom.
There you go.
Oh, I don't have time. It's one of the best return on time activities you possibly can do. I don't like cold calling. You really put a sticky note, they'll call you. It's really not that hard. And the thing about it is, you're just so laser focused, and it's not like taxing on the body. It's not very mentally exhausting to drive around and look for ugly houses.
Yep.
You're getting out of the house. It's nice, right? Boom. It's so easy. It's so simple to win. Now, if you're starting to get some traction, what the kids call it, getting motion. Have you heard of that?
No.
I got motion twin. Know that? No? Okay. So if you want to start if you get some motion, I'm learning.
Motion.
Motion is like you're
Doesn't mean you're emo, does it?
No.
Is that too old?
That's too old.
Oh, okay.
No. Those emo guys aren't really like, there's some metalheads here, but like young kids aren't like emo. I mean, some of them are, but like, Lord. Okay. But once you start getting some motion, you start getting the second deal, and then you get into like 2 deals per month. And that's when you start adding on of what existing is working, right? So we're think about a pyramid, right? Think about it. There's 3 points in a pyramid, by the way, but I won't get into the laws of 3. Pretty much you build your base, 1 deal per month. Okay. And what you do is, it's like, well, can I drive for dollars double? No, I'm spending 30 hours a week driving for dollars. I can't do 60. Okay, fine. Well, what we can do is we can add another layer on the pyramid, and that's going to be niche data from the government, right? We're not even using X-Leads, right? We're just niche list from the government. Pulling probates, code violations, fire damage properties, like what? All the niched out government list data that we always talk about that nobody else outside this YouTube channel is really doing. That is where you're going to be at, right? And I love when people tell me it's saturated. It's not saturated at all. Like, I'm not even joking, okay? Think about this. All right. If you go and talk to anybody else that is not in freewholesaling.com or not in this YouTube channel, they don't know what a government list is. They don't know what a water shutoff list is. They don't do it. And so it's actually very unsaturated still to this point. And so the second deal per month, niche data from government lists. And then you go to the third layer, right? That's when we start really packing it on. We start going to X leads and we just start doing massive volume on texting and calling, because I will tell you, when you start getting at like 30, 40 grand a month, you start running out of data. And I know that sounds crazy, but there's only so much government list you can pull.
Exactly.
There's only so many liens for your county, especially if you're in a smaller, like when I say smaller county, like your county's less than 300,000 people. There's only, like if you look at Lakeland, Florida, there's only so many government lists you can pull in Lakeland, Florida. Like you might get 2,000. You could just use a triple line dialer and just go crazy off
Hang
that,
right
right?
through it.
And so you're going to have to start getting some extra volume. And then that's where I tell you, X leads comes in, boom, go up there, right? But there's another half of this equation that we need to talk about, because everyone talks about, volume, attacking, lowballing. That's it. There's another layer on here that is not talked about too much. And I really should probably do a better time doing this, but let's talk about it. Number one is before you perfect the marketing. So you start getting some
motion.
When you start getting some motion, okay?
I'm still wrapping my head around
when you start getting some motion, you can tell I never told him this just to mess with him alive.
I hate this.
Come on. But basically, once you start getting some motion, all right, you're going to start to want to perfect the calling, right? Get all my KPIs perfect. Let's get all these things. Like when you start really getting volume and getting deals, you tend to want to like perfect the marketing more. And you shouldn't be doing that. Once you start getting deals, you don't want to go out here and try to make everything more perfect. And what you want to start doing is don't perfect the marketing, perfect the market. And what I mean by this is there's a lot of fat when it comes to your wholesaling, like marketing. And so what I mean by this is you're probably pulling all the code violations, maybe all the liens, maybe all the vacant properties in your city and county, right? You're going to find in your city only like 30% of the area is where 90% of your deals are going to come from. I know it sounds crazy.
And it's true for us.
So that I mean, everywhere, all my virtual markets, it's like you can pretty much cut 60% out of your market. And you could honestly reduce the amount of marketing by half. And if you keep the markets that your buyers want to buy, you're going to call just half of your list and you're still going to get the same amount of deals.
Yep.
Now you can use extra time towards even more marketing and just double down on the areas that work. And so if you don't know what these areas are, this is such a simple hack. Ask your cash buyer, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, where are you looking to buy? Now they're going to say this quote because they're absolutely crazy. I don't know why. I buy anywhere, dude. Okay. Specific. Well, can you give me the last 10 houses you bought for cash? Okay. And you're going to look it up and guess what you're going to find? They only buy in 3 zip codes out of 14 in your city. So it comes down, it's the classic quote, right? Don't believe what they say, believe what they do. And this is why I love popping up like the X leads, investor leads, and you look up these cash buyer, like it shows you the heat map of where they're buying.
Exactly.
We could pop up a cash buyer that owns 40 rental properties. Oh, wow. They literally only buy in the west of the city.
There you go.
But they said they buy anywhere. No. They only buy in the west of the city.
That's where they're comfortable.
And that's, of course, where they're comfortable. And also, like, that's just where the house flipping is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And another big secret that you'll find is, I saw someone on YouTube say this, and I thought that was insane take. But my take is always this. You want to find cheap real estate in low crime rates. These are what are going to be called starter homes. And so if you want to look at your friends or whatever, right there, like 26, 27 years old, they get out of college, now they have a stable job, maybe they're married, they got a kid on the way. What is the first? It's called starter homes. What's the first house somebody buys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually that house is going to be a lower priced house on average, but it's not in a rough area, right? Like a 27-year-old teacher who's married to a insurance salesman, right? They're not living in a high crime area. They're not living in the rich area because they're just starting out, but like they're not in high crime areas, right? Yep. I like to say, like, think of like teachers, bus drivers, sanitation workers, right? They're not in rough areas, but they're cheaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to find these starter homes. Starter homes by far are the easiest houses for a cash buyer to sell because they're always the most in demand. When you're looking to downgrade because times are getting tough, you get a starter home. Hey, you're looking to buy your first house, starter home, right? And so majority of these houses are going to be 2 1s, 3 2s that are under 1,500 square feet.
Demand's always been there for them.
Demand has
And
always
all 23 years I doing it, it's always been there. The problem on the higher end ones, which we want to stay away, is it teeters based on the market. And like there's a lot of factors on it, interest rates, unemployment. And people go, if they get a feeling that the economy's bad, the high-end homes fall apart. We're also in an environment right now of 7.5% interest rates. It's hard to qualify for those way above average homes. And so the starter home, we call the entry-level home, is always going to be in demand. Even in the worst of worst markets, they always move. So because the demand's always there, that's where you always want to focus, because you don't, the final fix and flipper knows he can get that house sold, even in a high interest rate environment, even in high unemployment. And even when it gets in a favorable market, they can get a premium because they shoot up in value. So,
well, let me show you guys. First comment a city. I'll show you exactly where I'm talking about in a city. Really simple to find. I'll show just anyone how you can find the best areas by far. So let's start a market. Throw me out a market, and we'll find exactly where. Okay, Omaha, Nebraska, easy. You got it, Raquel. So we go to Omaha, Nebraska. Okay, so let's go to X leads real quick and just go to Omaha, Nebraska. Okay, cool. So now we're in Omaha, Nebraska. What in the world am I looking at? Okay, so we're going to get rid of these clusters. And all I like to do is first, let's just do flips by zip. Now, here's the heat map of flips by zip. So, of course, you want to look at everyone talks about, oh, dude, where are the cash buyer transactions at? You don't want to look at cash buyer transactions. Cash buyer transactions are actually probably one of the worst things you can look at, because it's not about people buying for cash.
mm-hmm.
It's about people who buy it for cash, then resell it for a profit. And so here's a quick little map here. Do I get rid of no, you want to keep that up. Flips by zip. There we go. Okay. So can I there we go. Okay. I just, the price. Okay. So these are all the zip codes in Omaha, Nebraska. You're going to find obviously that this one had 22 flips in that zip code. Okay. 51 flips, 142, 149. And you just want to find zip codes where the most flips are happening. So 64, 70, 27. No, you kind of see which ones are hotter than others. So you're going to find the 51s are most importantly. It's a big county, but yeah, 96, so 142. So you can tell that's actually pretty dang good. 149. You can also do this too. Overlay it by property value by zip code. So let's look at property values by zip code. Did you just notice that this area right here, this little C, has the lowest property values?
Mm-hmm.
And you see how that has the highest flips?
Yep.
Crazy, right? Now, there's a lot of zip codes over here. 336, Jesus. That's a big county, though. That's a big zip code. 336 actually insane right there. Let me see. So this one is 454, 515. Interesting. So, see, that one was high, but it got, no one is doing it. So 68022 is probably be my thing. Average flip delta over $6 million of flips. So pretty crazy to see the stats, but like no one else is really showing flip data like this. I mean, that's at 336, 28, 170. That's pretty dang good. Like, I mean, some other cool parts here. I also like Signal AI. So Signal AI is going to show you exactly where they're seeing a forward update of the most flips being done. It's looking Des Moines actually getting a 7 out of 10 for these counties. So this actually predicts exactly where the best areas for wholesaling for flipping is going to be. They're saying that St. Clair County is actually looking pretty good. They're looking at Fort Wayne. See, it's predicting Fort Wayne. They're finding high flip rates and strong stability and profitable deals there. And so I tell you, if you're virtual wholesaling, just go to X Leads and try to find some of the darker areas. Obviously, it's already predicting my, it's reverse engineering because it's got my areas and it knows what's hot right now. Like,
Florida's
like
cold.
Well, for example, right? Flipping in Miami-Dade's at 5.7 right now. That's what AI is figuring it out. But they're saying Port St. Lucie's an 8.2. Right? Like, oh, let's do Okeechobee. Okeechobee sucks, right? So you're finding that it's actually pretty dang good. Now, it can be off sometimes, but Marion County, insane. Tampa is a little cold. Cape Coral, I don't agree with Lee County.
No.
But like, it's telling you that Jefferson County right now is hot. And I am not going to lie, it's a good area, right? This is where you're going to find some hidden data, and that's why I really like it. Let's see. I don't reveal all the information. You got to get X leads for that, right? But you can also do property values by zip codes, and then flips by zip is really cool too. And so
that's a lot of data.
There's so much data.
Guys,
but
you have tools to research any market, especially if you're doing this virtually. Like there's zero guessing anymore. So remember, you still got to put in the work. You're still going to have to reach out and find motivated sellers, deal with cash buyers. But we're getting more and more data, the more AI that's used. If you guys don't hop on tools like X Leads, you're going to get left behind because
honestly, I'm not at liberty to tell you what X Leads is working on. Can't say exactly too much, but I'm telling you, the next big thing we hit how do I say it right? We hit a breakthrough, which we didn't think we could with AI.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really cool. And my biggest hint I can give you is AI is predicting good areas. But what else could AI do? I don't know. But we're going to pretty dang excited about the next breakthrough with AI. And so it's pretty dang cool. But not going to talk about that right now. That is for a different day. I'm just telling you, when you see it, you're going to see it. Okay. So perfect the market, guys. You're noticing now that certain markets are way hotter inside. Like there's certain zip codes that are way better than others.
Yep.
Really dang cool, right? And so what you should be doing is finding the hottest zip codes and areas and going all in on those areas. You're going to find that you're going to get a better, and I know I'm a broken record, return on time. Mm-hmm. So important. If you are putting 15 hours, and that's all you have, you want that 15 hours to be like 30 hours for the average person. You want to work twice as efficiently. Now there's a limit to efficiencies, right? But you want to be in the right areas too. And so what I'm going to tell you to do is reverse look at, like if you're struggling right now in wholesaling, go back and try to research the best areas where your buyers want to buy and only focus on those areas. You're probably going to double your efficiency. Fastest way to start getting some motion. Okay. There we go. And then, reverse drive for dollars, calling, texting government lists in those hot areas, and you're going to start succeeding. And so what are the tools you need to succeed, guys? If you have no money, again, use our free tools. We go out here and tell you Google Voice is the best for calling and texting. Cyber background checks is the best for skip tracing. Or we have a free CRM. It is I just released a video on my YouTube channel, the Zach Ginn YouTube channel, but our free CRM we made, it is in freewholesaling.com. It's a cold calling CRM. It's a cash buyer CRM, and it's a lead, like a kind of overall lead board you can do. It's absolutely for free. It's all inside of freewholesaling.com. I just shared a quick tutorial on that. It was actually really cool. And your title company, which you're just going to have to call around and see, right? And then if you want to use a pay tool, so let's talk about which CRM you should be using, which dialer you should be using, which text blasting service, which e-signing service to be using, which Dispo platform do you need to be using, right? I get asked that all the time. Well, here's the cool part. There's literally only one. You just go do X Leads and you're good to go. We actually had, it was kind of crazy. Max is saying the new AI is already so good in X Leads.
It's
fun
really
fact
cool.
with Max, I'm not here to say much, but Max was doing a live stream and he spent 2 hours and he couldn't get a deal sold. He was struggling to sell this deal in a live stream.
Yeah.
Because I'm just such a good guy, I told him, I said, hey, just to do X Leads in 5 minutes to get it sold. Guess what happens? Second call, boom, gets a walkthrough, gets a very motivated seller, and that's pretty much it. And that's and yeah, he's saying yes. And so it's weird he has a profile picture without a beard, but whatever. That's for a different day. But literally took him 5 minutes, X Leads, done. I said 5 minutes, forget about it. All right. And that's how you do it. So X Leads, again, best software out here. CRM, dialer, text blasting, e-signing, Dispo. Literally all of it, X Leads, boom, right there. Like it's insane. Some guy told me, this guy told me in the Discord today, he said, Zach, I only have money for the basic plan. I can't afford Go High Level. And I said, dude, we get a free Go High Level account with X. He's like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
Ninja Mode's built on Go High Level. It's absolutely for free. If you have the basic, he's like, what? He's like, I didn't even know I had a password. I said, just go to ninja.xleads or just go to Go High Level website, put your email you have for X Leads, forgot password, boom, you're already a login, right? He's like, oh my gosh.
I thought it was crazy with the included skip tracing, but the tools you get inside of X Leads, it's a culmination of everything that I've always wanted. I know you've always wanted in a wholesaling platform. And for the first time, it's finally designed, engineered, and created for you guys by wholesalers. Now, I'm not a coder by any chance, but I can say, hey, listen, this is what we need. And people listen to us. We have a platform and we give you what you want. Guys, we have single-handedly cut the price of software more than anybody else.
Just wait for the update. It's pretty dang exciting.
And then the AI, I've yet to see anyone who can even hold a candle to what X Leads does. It's unbelievable. The speed it's getting you. Guys, AI is not going to close people for you.
Well, I'll tell you this. X Leads is now the only software that will use AI to analyze the deal and give you a report. So, for example, it'll tell you, hey, this property has been sold on a quick claim twice this in the past 3 years, and you should know about it. X Leads is literally the only software that does that. It's actually insane.
Yeah,
X Leads will look at the deal. The AI will look at the deal.
It's unbelievable. Like, honestly, I'm always skeptical about anything that's automated, but guys, I'm gonna tell you, I can't live without it. It's unbelievable. And if you guys use Chat GPT or anything like that, imagine that inside of X Leads, and you can ask it 1,000 questions. It evaluates, looks at it. The biggest thing is it saves me a ton of time. And you can be working with sellers on the phone. You can actually speak into the microphone part, and you can actually take that conversation and it'll tell you, it'll get rid of the crap right away. You don't have to waste time. And it'll give you insights that you can ask right away to seek more motivation to see what's going on with it. It's like I always told you guys, the 3 things: ODN, off market direct, direct to seller needs to sell. Dude, AI solves it instantly for you. Now, I still want you to understand you're going to have to learn to talk to people. AI is not going to replace it, but everything's going to be sitting there for you. So
I'm excited.
It's unbelievable, man. Honestly, I always wondered how AI is going to work into wholesaling. I don't want to rely on Chat GPT and go in and out. And guys, some of you guys do it free. You get 2 or 3 searches. Forget it, man. If you take your CRM, your marketing list company, you take your comping, you take your e-sign services, you take your Go High Level, what you pay. Some of you guys pay $100 a month for that. And then you throw Dispo on top of it. And by the way, dude, Dispo, it's the best deal out there you're going to have in wholesaling. And you can use Dispo with AI and the whole 9 yards. Is really cool. Start out with the basics. Marketing is always the most important. So you guys getting started, you don't need the Mac Daddy version. I know that's crazy. Somebody on the internet telling you don't need to be upgraded, because I want to earn your business in the long run. So you can now grow. One of my biggest frustrations was having 9 different charges on 9 different dates with 9 different softwares and 9 different windows. I can't stand that. We have pretty much eliminated that with X Leads. So guys, it's really cool. Your training, everything's in there. We were dead serious about having one platform. You don't need to go to this guy or gal for Dispo, this one for marketing, and this one for acquisitions, and this one for e-signing, or this one to go in the Go High Level. It's all in one place. So guys, you got to go out there and do the work. AI is not going to replace it. It's just going to make you faster, quicker, and smarter than the other wholesalers out there. So I'm excited for all the upgrades we got coming up with it. I think we release more upgrades in most of the softwares out there, but you guys vote with your time and your money. So we want to give you the best tools possible, because the better you become, we match you up with freewholesaling.com. We can do JVs deal together and we all win. And remember, who invested in you when nobody else would do it? I do not take lightly the free people. You're told in our industry you're not worthy because you didn't pay a fee. That's ridiculous. I started out for free, and I think I'm a pretty reputable successful wholesalers. Zach did, everybody else did, a lot of you guys on here, a lot of the people I've taught, and we want to give you guys the exact same opportunity.
That's it. We're gonna ask, is that go high? Guys, actually, it's not go. I mean, go high level is we give a free go high level account. The software is not go high level. That's hilarious to me. But like,
that's cute.
And then we always get asked, Zach, should you use X leads or should you use this other software? Let me just ask you a question. Does the software have e-signing and free unlimited skip tracing?
Yeah, put it up there.
E-signing is $40 a month, so I think that's kind of already a no-brainer. And does it have free unlimited skip tracing? The question's no. Then like I don't know what to tell you. So I mean,
and guys, we honor when you get in on your price, we honor it.
There we go. So let's keep talking. All right. So that's the tools we use, and that's pretty much. I don't really talk about much anymore besides that on tools end. So how do you get more deals? Again, increase deal marketing, right? So if you want to increase your volume, you increase your marketing. That is just unfortunately, it's kind of like a perfect relationship, right? Where if you perfected the market, right? So now you're doing the hottest zip codes only. The only way to go up is by adding more volume.
Mm-hmm. And
you're going to find each market is a little different. Like, for example, if you do 20 hours every single dang week of cold calling and you produce 3 leads, it's not like you're going to call a different way to produce more. You're probably have to double your marketing to go out here and your volume to go out here and double the amount of deals you do. And the easiest way to do that without doing it yourself is to go out here and hire VAs or virtual assistant go call for you. That's never a bad option at all. Now, we have a whole VA training inside of freewholesaling.com because a lot of people don't know how to hire VAs or treat them right. So you definitely got to do it that the right way. But that's just the easiest way to increase your deal volume, actually having employees. And that's the best arbitrage for that. Now, my favorite part, how to increase your assignment fees. Oh, this is simple. Okay. You just got to lowball more. Okay. So if you want to increase your assignment fees, you just get in front of more motivated sellers, or you get in front of sellers who have lower lowballs. That's pretty much it. That's honestly what I found. And so more motivated sellers with the same offers are going to yield you more results. And so you either got to choose. Do you want more motivated sellers and you're going to lowball them more, or which way you're going to do it? But pretty much at the point where you're going to make over $75,000 on a wholesale deal, it's going to be from the most motivated type of situations, right? Like probates, didn't pay taxes for 6 years, 17 heirs to the property, right? The house went on fire, right? Crazy situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've dealt with a lot of them, right?
It's unbelievable. And this notion where lowballing like doesn't really have a place in wholesaling. It's always been there. Just admit it. It's the truth. There is a right way and a wrong way to do it. I do agree with that. But like I left so much money on the table my first 3 years of doing this business. And I just learned and you know how I learned? I asked people after I closed, would you have taken, 30,000 less? And they go, absolutely. Now we get rejected a lot, and I'm not taking advantage of people, but your guy's biggest problem is you overpay for properties because you're scared you're going to get rejected. You're solving big problems. Go out and find big problems, find motivated sellers, give them an offer, build massive rapport with them. And you're going to hit it with a low ball, and it's going to get ugly and it's going to feel weird. But let me ask you, which is a better feeling? When you walk away with a successful deal and you make 2 or 3 phone calls to a cash buyer, or do you want to be in purgatory hell, call 50 buyers that go, why would you pay that much for the property? You stupid. And then you got to go back and you got to try to renegotiate or in the contract, which is more painful. I promise you, biting the bullet up front and really connecting with people, hitting them with a low ball offer, and then finding a way to get through it is the best way to do it. If you want to chase sellers, go be a realtor. I don't teach that. You want to make $2,000 or $3,000 a deal? You're a realtor. Wholesalers, we go for it, man. We are solving problems. In exchange, solving the problem, you're getting a great deal. It's always been that way. And you guys that want to, he usually make 15 grand, I'll make 10 grand. No, help people out, solve their problem, create win-win situations. There's nothing wrong with lowball offers. Which is worse, a lowball or saying they're calling 50 cash buyers to find out you overpaid for the property?
And then you're going to have to call for a reduction.
Yeah. And then I don't want to, it's guys, I'm just telling you, I'd rather you get the right priced property, because you actually solve the seller's problem. Because most of you overpay for one simple reason. You're scared to get a no. So what do? I'm going to do the complete opposite. If you're scared of the dentist, I'm going to drag your butt and put you in the dentist chair. That's how you get over it. And after a while,
Go for no.
it won't even phase you. Now, somehow someone took like our information and they just want to e-sign a contract over there without rapport. Dude, that's 100% failure ratio. I already tell you, you probably got a not 85, 90% rejection rate on this. We know it. We're seeking them out. And remember, I'm going to help that person. I'm going to bend over backwards because that's what a good human being does. But like people who want to sell your house, dude, lowballing is a terrible strategy. So I agree. I agree with a lot of the critics out there. I'm just saying it. I'm different. I do wholesaling. That's all I do. That's what I want to do. I'm not a fix and flipper.
There we go. So one of my favorite books out here, Go for No. I love the title. Yes is the destination, right? That's where we're trying to get.
Exactly.
But no is how you get there. Cool little book. Love it. I mean, you got me on this.
Yeah, it's
you go for the no.
Go for no, guys. So think about the Stoic approach. Let's go with the worst case scenario up front. It's a better strategy. Those of you who want a yes, you're too busy trying to please everyone. I'm not here to please everyone. I just need to please a few amount of people and get it done. And you know what? They're the happiest customers I ever deal with. So if you go like, you want to be this moral person and like, I can't do that. I love when people go, it's morally and ethically unethical to wholesale. How? You go to Costco, you buy a loaf of bread. The Costco pays maybe 50 cents for that bread and sells it for $5, and you don't have a problem at all with it. We're doing the same thing. We're just doing it in a particular niche. So like, if you're going to do that, then you got to get rid of corporate America. We are no different. We don't make anybody sell us a house. We help them out.
Exactly. And so lowball, go for the no, and start making some crazy money. If you're scared, at least be scared when you pick up your $60,000 check. Scared money don't make no money. And you got to stop being so scared of lowball. Like
it's like, guys, it's just part of the business. If you don't ask for it, I had a deal I had to work on today, and like I had finalized. I was actually okay with the number. I went back with them. What's the best we can do? What's the least amount you can take? And they knocked another 10 grand off of it just by asking.
Which deal?
I'll tell you about it later. I've been working on it for a while. It's just
behind my back.
Yeah, I do them all the time. But the thing is, I always ask for it.
What state?
It's actually in Florida. I'll tell you about it later. I was working last night with some ex-Leads people on it. So, but I'm just telling you, if you ask,
that's dirty.
You got a shot. Now, if I do that 10 times, 9 out of 10, I get rejected. But I'm just telling you, it's the same thing. Guys, you all know if you could go to the grocery store and negotiate everything, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But I'm telling you guys, stop being scared or rejected. Take the rejection and take the 1 or 2 yeses, because they are so dynamite. It is the best feeling in the world. Stop being scared. Scared don't make any money.
Scared money don't make money. There we go. All right. So we know how to make more money. So let's kind of talk about, again, the last part about understanding this. This is your marketing KPIs, your key performance indicators. Guys, when you're doing your marketing, this is so important. So the reason is we're going to do some one-on-ones today, right? We want to talk to some people, right? And really understand how we can help you out in your business and why you're not at 50 grand a month, how we get you there. But there's some simple questions I'm going to be asking everybody who says, Zach, I don't know why I'm not getting no deals. I simply ask, well, what is your marketing KPIs? And if you tell me, I don't know why I'm not having success, and I ask you what your KPIs are, and you say, I don't know. That is a ticket for failure. If you don't even know that, like, I don't know what else to tell you, right?
I agree.
It's so dumb.
Got to know your numbers.
So if you're talking to me and you're struggling, I'm going to say, hey, first and foremost, what is your contact rate? I don't know. It's not good enough for me. I don't accept that. Go back and go figure it out. But basically what contact rate is basically the amount of people that picked up the phone and you called them versus the amount of people you call. So if you call 100 people, 10 people pick up, that is a 10% contact rate. For cold calling, you want to be between 12 and 20%. I mean, it's all like probates are going to get higher, high equities are going to be lower, right? I mean, it's here or there. But the thing about it is if your contact rate's like 4%, oh, I had 4 people pick up out of 100. Every single week, I legit have people saying that. Zach, I called for 10 hours and got 2 people picking up. I take the chair, I take the desk and I flip it over. I really start what the kids call crashing out.
Yeah.
Probably know that one.
Good Lord.
No. I go crazy. I'm like, how?
Crashing.
And basically what that means is you're probably spam likely or your dialer sucks. I don't know what to tell you there. So we got to fix that. You're mostly spam likely. So you got to buy a new phone number to fix that. Now, the next part is what we call leads per hour. Now, this is more of a macro. This is more of like you're scaling a little more. So this isn't like for like a beginner to know. But if you're like, hey, Zach, how do I go from 30 grand to 60 grand? This is pretty simple. How much hours of marketing are you doing and how many leads are you getting per hour? So it shouldn't be like you're not going to get 30 leads per hour. But what I mean by this is if you're marketing 40 hours a week, how many leads do you get? Oh, I get about, 30 leads for 40 hours. So you're getting like a 0.75 leads per hour. So that means we can predict your business. Okay, that means for every 10 hours, you get 7 leads. Okay, well, how many offers are you making per call text too? So for example, offers are like the most important KPI stat. And what this basically means is how many offers are being made per call. So it's like, well, we got to call about 2,000 people before we get 1 offer. Well, how many offers per deal? 2 offers per 1 deal. So that means for every 6,000 calls you make, you get 1 deal. Yes. Okay, let's game it. So you want to get 3 deals per month? Yes. 18,000 calls. I never thought about it like that. And I know that sounds so crazy, but if it takes 5,000 calls to get 1 deal, you want to get 3 deals per month, 5,000 times 3 is 15,000.
There you go.
I just
did the math.
It's not that. But guys, the most important KPI stat of all time is offers. If you ain't making offers, you ain't making money. We have said this how many dang times?
All the time.
But if you're telling me I haven't got a deal, you're most likely not making offers. And the people doing deals are making offers. That's what you do. Then lastly, I think everyone should be doing this if you're struggling, especially as a beginner, but add niche lists. Okay? Add niche lists. So actually niche channels too, but these are going to be digital bandit signs and email blasting, especially as a beginner. Nobody's email blasting. Nobody's posting digital bandit signs. It's insanity to me right now. Nobody's doing that. Like absolutely nobody.
It's easy.
And that's how you start getting deals. So that's how you exactly make $50,000 a month wholesaling real estate. And so let's break this all down and let me answer some questions. Let's do a couple one-on-ones. Let's see how the people are today. And love to just kind of invite everyone over to talk to them and see what's up. How can I help you guys out? And so let's pop it up right here. Here's the StreamYard link. Pop, pop. Right there. Here's the StreamYard link. And let's talk about this. And so we are actually next week. Also want to let everybody know next week. So next week is going to be Tuesday. We are starting the 30-day wholesaling challenge.
That time again, huh?
It is that time of year. My favorite time of year.
It just goes by.
So every single July, every single summer, we do the most intense challenge of all time. It is called the 30-day wholesaling challenge. And I am so excited for this. And so we're going to, again, 30-day wholesaling challenge starts. Hold on, where is it? Starts July 1st. And so that's going to be a live stream. Me and Rick are going to be on there. But the 30-day wholesaling challenge is going to start on July 1st. And my favorite part about the 30-day wholesaling challenge, it is insane. And so it's going to be a 3-day challenge. So we're actually going to go for 3 days of live streams. I know it's going to be a little crazy. But basically on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, me and Rick are going to be live. And we are going to just be talking all things wholesaling real estate. And so we're going to go a little crazy. And, we used to do a video every day for 30 days, and then that got a little insane because people just started wholesaling day 14. And like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So we're just going to dedicate this challenge for 3 days, and we're going to go nuts. I mean, we're going to go It's going to be crazy. If you're just getting started now, this is the best time to get started. But we're going to be breaking down exactly everything you need to know in about 3 days, how to get your first wholesaling deal. And so the 30-day wholesaling challenge is only about get your first wholesaling deal in the next 30 days.
That's it.
It's going to be epic.
It's just focus, guys. You got to focus. You got to focus. You got to focus.
And so it's going to be a marathon. So like we're going to be really hunkering down for July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then obviously get the 4th off. But pretty much we're going to go as crazy as we possibly can. So it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're going to be live around 5 o'clock. And we're going to go probably all night. I don't know. We might go 12 hours. I don't know. Who knows? I might just go on a crazy rant. I might go on a 16-hour rant about how much I love wholesaling. But 30-day wholesaling challenge starts July 1st on this YouTube channel. It's only going to be on the Flip with Rick YouTube channel. And so a lot of craziness is going to happen. I'm super excited for it. And
that'll be fun.
it's every single time we do the challenge, somebody's life gets changed.
Yep.
And like always, we got a lot of crazy prizes. And so we're excited about it. And so if you're excited about 30-day wholesaling challenge, please let me know. And we'll get you all started. It's going to be on this YouTube channel. It's going to be live streamed. We are ready to go. And so let's answer some questions too. We got some good questions here. Let's see here. Michael says, what's up, Michael? How would you do all this if you have a full-time job? Well, 30-day wholesaling challenge, we're going to talk all about, Rick's story, my story, right?
I had to do that exact. Dude,
Yeah.
I had it with 2 small kids, a big fat mortgage, and way in over my head on debt. So I just, listen, you just start with 24 hours and you break it down. And today's stream talked about prioritizing, having the most effective strategy. See, a lot of wholesalers are just really busy. They're all over the board. They try a little bit of everybody's strategy. That's why most people come back after they tried a lot of the paid routes, all these, there's plenty of courses out there. I'm not saying they don't work, but the problem is you got to pick a strategy and go with it. And understanding the way we do it is we teach you how to truly find a motivated seller. You can find a lot of people that will show you how to use companies and you got to pay them all this money. And because it's not wholesaling. Like, if it was that easy, that's all we would do. Well, I've tested everything out. I'm just here to tell you, those that go out and find their own leads and figure out how to do them, like starting out with government list, instead of investing 10, 15 grand and thinking someone's going to show you the way, why don't you show yourself the way? Let's see if you got it. Like, now I'm going to date myself with the word. Like, do you have the moxie to do wholesaling? Some of you don't. And wouldn't you rather know now before you drop 5, 10 grand on and go, man, I thought it was this. Part of it is you guys have belief with no conviction. And if you recognize it, that's fine. But listen, life's challenging, guys. You can pick the hard in life. You can go through everything easy right now, and you are going to be forced to make decisions either medically or financially without getting the details. Same thing's true in wholesaling. Most people get something because it's an instant dopamine. Oh, that solves my problem. Guys, we all go on the same journey. Like, think fishing. Let me ask you, do you think the fish knows if you got a $5 million boat or a little row dinghy? The fish doesn't know. You just got to wiggle that lure and you got to work it. And so it doesn't care what boat you're in. It doesn't care if you have $1 million or you're broke. And that's the difference, guys. We're all on the same playing field when we talk to sellers. The question is, are you going to stick to it if or when you fail? Because you are going to fail. And you've been taught your entire life when you fail, it's not right. And life is actually the opposite. You learn from your failures in life. And wholesaling is the exact same thing. So think about this. If I go fishing, if I'm in a 100-foot yacht or I'm in an 8-foot dinghy, the fish does not care, meaning the seller. Can you solve their problem? And can you find a way to locate them and connect with them? And if you understand that analogy, it's a great analogy for wholesaling, because some of you guys want a 100-foot boat right off the bat. And you go out and get a captain, call the coach. And I'm okay with it, but it's not going to solve your problem right off the bat. You still have to do the work. Some people think when you hire someone that you don't have to do the work. In fact, it actually doubles down your workload type of deal. My problem is when you go to paid techniques right off the bat and you don't learn marketing, that's when you're going to fumble for the rest of your wholesaling career, which will be short. So use that analogy. Maybe like sometimes I'm a visual person with ADHD and like I look at it. because I've caught monster fish next to like 80-foot yachts with an entire crew, like $1 million crew, $5 million boat. And I go, dude, this guy's flipping fish in the boat left and right because he learned the techniques of fishing. And I went through it and I had to forge it. I sucked when I first started fishing, just like I sucked when I first started wholesaling. And I want you to take that analogy and learn, man. Like I want to teach you how to fish. You want a fancy boat? Go for it. It's not going to make you a better fisherman. You're still going to have to learn the basics. Once you get really good, then if you want comfort and you want some creature stuff, I'm okay with it. But a lot of times we try to replace it for the hard work of going out there and finding motivated sellers. It's always going to be about marketing, guys. This shift is, I'm on a mission to tell you, if you skip marketing, it's going to be a very, very short career for you.
I agree. So if you're full-time, what I would tell you to do is, I know I've been saying it all day, but like return on your time, because you got a full-time job, right? Like, I mean, it ain't going to be easy. I think everyone knows this. And I'm the last guy to talk about a full-time job. Also, like, I mean, yeah, like I think I had a full-time job when I got started, right? Like I was working 39 hours a week as a bag boy. And then I was doing college classes in high school full-time. Also on the wrestling team. I did all this stuff, right? I do a lot of stuff, wholesaling on the side, but I was basically, I could only do one. I was so dumb. I was only doing one thing, bandit signs, right? But like, it was just because I only had the time to do something. I couldn't do 6 hours of cold calling that day. I was too busy. And I just made it pretty dang simple. And so this, like all the lessons we're telling you, man, it's what it, like, focus on one thing. If I were you, what did I say in the beginning? First deal, it's drive for dollars, reverse drive for dollars. And here's the cool part. If you got kids, put them in the back. I don't know much about being a dad, but I'll tell you this. If you have a 4-year-old, I promise you, based off of how I see people's kids, if you just give them an iPad, they're pretty much set for the next 6 hours. That's how these kids are these days. Throw some Coco Melon on there. If you got a daughter, put Moana on, or what's the ice one? Frozen. Put Frozen on like a 3-hour movie.
You know what? Or just talk to your kid. Like it's good time to talk to them before they get into these cell phones. The worst device ever created on face Earth, and talk to them, guys. Like you just, I don't know. I got to talk to them about parenting, but if you guys turn on those iPads and walk away, you're creating a monster. And so I'm giving you some parenting advice. Kids just want to be with their parents. Like it is a natural tendency. So take them with you. Let them enjoy the journey, and I promise they're gonna make jokes about you down the road. Like, remember that nasty house you took to me? That my daughter to this day still sits down every time. He goes, remember that these houses? He goes, my dad took me to thousands of houses like that. And at one point, I even had Zach. Like Zach's like, what if I did garage sale? I go, that's a good idea. I was teaching the lessons along the way, and we got his job at the grocery store. I wanted to show him what it was like to have a boss, how to work. And you just learn from it. That's it.
But you know, once my kids, I'm gonna give them an iPad, and they're gonna have a very, it's gonna be one of those locked iPads where it only shows the Rick and YouTube channel and clips of my old live streams. That's all they're gonna be able to watch, and they're gonna get really good at wholesaling. I'm gonna tell you this: 3 years old, we're gonna start them at 3, and they'll start making offers by 4, and we're ready to go. So I'm just telling you, you know, we're just gonna be only watching Rick and live streams with the kids on Mondays. That's what we're going to, because they don't want to learn from me. They'll learn from Rick on there. And then anyone else's wholesaling YouTube channel, we're just going to cut that off. Maybe we'll add Max on there. I don't know. Maybe him. But pretty much that's how we're going to do it. But okay. All seriousness, like you bring the kids in the back of the car, you drive for dollars, you have a good time listening to music. Like it's not that crazy. All right. Like it's actually not that crazy to do. And so you got to remember this, that if you just focus on drawing for dollars, that's all you got to do. Like you just, everyone wants to complicate it. Focus on just, if you have the ability to drive for dollars, go do it. And you have a full-time job, you could probably afford to drive for dollars. Now, when you get home at night and the kids are sleeping, email blast, digital bandit signs. I don't want to hear one excuse of somebody that says, I'm too busy to wholesale. If you can drive for dollars an hour or two a day, and when the kids go to bed, you have 15 minutes to email blast 1,000 people, and you can post 2 digital bandit signs. I promise you, you're going to get leads. But nobody has ever complained to me that they're full-time, they're struggling when they're able to email blast, digital bandit signs, and drive for dollars.
Learn on market and off marketing times. There's time. You can't cold call at 10 o'clock at night, but you can send an email. And guys, when you use the word busy, it's code broke. Like Busy, you're just running around. You're not getting anything accomplished. You feel like I'm gonna pacify my soul by keeping busy, and you got to stop it. Busy's the worst thing you can do in wholesaling, on market, off market. And I get it. I didn't have a choice. I couldn't quit. I couldn't pay the bills without it. So I just started like this. I have 24 hours a day. How can I utilize it best and still take care of the people that depend on me? It is not an easy decision. It is not going to be pretty, but there's people in much worse positions than you ever thought you could be. There's people fought plagues. They fought wars. I mean, you can go through time of all the terrible things that happen. You're in a very good time in life, but we got to forge. We got to push forward. We have to make the effort. Don't be complacent. Just because you have a job, most of you only go there 8 hours a day, and then you got people that depend on you. But daddy has to make a sacrifice to get the family where they want to go. I made that decision. You have to make that decision. Is it easy? No. But it's worth it.
Fun fact. When he started wholesaling, he created his own brand. What was it called? Tell everyone. It's genius.
Yeah. Because I wanted to spend time with my kids. It was My Daddy Buys Houses.
It was called My Daddy Buys Houses. And it was, I think, genius, right?
I wrapped the car in it.
Remember that? That was crazy. But yeah, he wrapped his car in it. And I was like 5, right? So like I wasn't like 15. That would have been a little weird if I was 15. But it was kind of crazy. But like the thing about it is, if you just focus on one thing, you'll get deals. It's really not that complicated. That's how you can succeed here. And so full-time wholesaling, last piece of advice for you, go to freewholesaling.com. Okay, I'm going to put it on the bottom. Go to freewholesaling.com and just say, hey, who here who works a full-time job that got a wholesale deal can help me out? I promise you, it is like moths. It's like a moth to a flame. All right. 15 people are going to say, hey, I have a full-time job with 3 kids and I'm making 10 grand a month. So many of them.
Yep.
Just talk to them. And guess what? They want to help you out. You know why? Half of them are kind of guilty because I taught them for free. They're like, I wish you'd give Zach some money. I don't care. I don't want your money. Just help other people out. If you help someone out, then you help someone out and you're good to go. And so guys, if you want to learn wholesaling real estate, go to freewholesaling.com. It's all there. Guys, full-time wholesaling is not that complicated. I want to pop Omar on, but his mic's not working. So, hate that. So hopefully Omar can help you out. Also, guys, I'm going to be going live at 5 o'clock tomorrow on the Discord. I cannot make 8 o'clock and Rick's going to be busy. So 5 o'clock on the Discord tomorrow. We're still doing the Discord call. I'm never missing a Discord call, but we're going to do it at 5 o'clock, unfortunately. And I'll be doing it while driving my car. So hopefully
Good Lord.
It works well. But yeah, I'll be driving at 5. So I'll be gone. But yeah, be pretty dang cool. So guys, if you got any value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. I'll see you in the Discord call tomorrow. If you want to get the links and everything, just go to freewholesaling.com and it's in the calendar. Discord link, ZachDiscord.com. And we'll see you soon. Guys, smash that like button, subscribe, and I will see